Hey YouTube, Spooky here, just doing a quick video running through with you guys some helicopter tactics on the Naval Strike DLC maps. So this map here is Lost Islands. There's a crashed commercial airliner smashed in the middle of the map, and the whole point is to, obviously it's a conquest game mode. So I think this goes for all maps really, but especially Naval Strike, since you've more airspace and there's more open areas as such. Most of the maps are built for boats and for helicopters essentially. So what I recommend first thing you do is go to the flight school or the test range. I like to call it the flight school. I think I racked up around 13 or 14 hours just practicing flying around using the Havoc and the Little Bird helicopters. Now the thing about the helicopters is, especially if you're coming from a console or if you're playing with a keyboard and mouse, they can be quite daunting and extremely hard to control. So the controls basically are the mouse. If you push left or right, the helicopter will sway left or right. It won't turn. You use or should I say strafe. The A key and the D key will strafe, and S will go down, and W will go up. Now the whole point with the mouse is it's meant to control the dip when you're flying the helicopter. So if you're pressing W and you're pushing forward on the mouse, your helicopter will dip. So it's very important to kind of get used to the logistics and the kind of the control and the feel of how you fly helicopters. Now I know a lot of people who just get into a helicopter, fly it over to a base or an island and just crash it. The whole point of vehicles within Battlefield is to use them to an advantage and to use them for the purpose of capturing an objective, or for taking out a squad, or for assaulting some sort of area on the map. The best thing, or well, I should start this off. The worst thing about the helicopters in this game, especially the Little Bird, is that you start off with 20mm cannons, or it's a 25mm light machine gun. Now, this doesn't do any damage whatsoever, especially if you're facing an RCB and ribs and buggies and small light infantry kind of vehicles. It'll do significant damage enough if you're a good pilot, but you start off with those, and you don't start off with anything really kind of major that'll give you any sort of advantage. So as you can see here, I'm actually capturing objectives, and after whatever hours you rack up in flight school, you have to start practicing hovering over objectives and timing. You have to time how long it takes for a flag to go down, especially if you're capturing it by your own. So I think capturing it on your own takes about 8 to 12 seconds. I think between 8 and 12, yeah. And then when you're with teammates, it'll obviously make a significant speed up when capturing an objective. So your first objective and your first part of training would be, my advice would be, is to go to flight school and pretend and count while hovering over an objective. So then you can get used to the controls, and you get used to kind of strafing, and you have to control the area you're flying around. You can't just hover around. You have to constantly move and constantly look out for enemies, especially if there's aircraft and naval craft shooting at you. You're going to have to use backup. But you do start off with IR flares, so if a rocket locks on, you have enough time to react and find that person. But don't worry if you are capturing an objective and you do get caught off balance when someone's shooting a Stinger missile at you. It's okay, you can always just get into combat, or you can try and ignore it and try and hover behind rocks or a building or some sort of cover, because the Little Bird can actually manage that. Now in the Naval Strike maps, there isn't actually any attack helicopters. I think there's one on one team in a game mode. I think it's either Conquest or Rush. You will get a Havoc. I died here when somebody put down M2 slams. So the second thing is that to rank up as well, troop transport is another thing. You get 25 points for your teammates to spawn on you, which is pretty good, especially if you have a 50% XP or 100% or even a 25% XP boost. That is a significant number, so that'll kind of help you out kind of, you know, unlock more stuff for your helicopter. Now I know the UHIY or YI Venom, all it's very very slow and it's slow to turn, but it'll make you that's one of the hard, if you can handle that aircraft, you can handle any of the other aircraft. It's a very very heavy helicopter to use, and also you can't use any conventional weapons. You have to use the support of your infantry soldiers shooting out of the side. So make sure you go to flight school, time and practice the controls, and pretend you're capturing objectives. And in the meantime, when you get a little bit more experience, start kind of picking away at the vehicles on the test range map. Just pretend they're enemies and just fly around, and you have to be on the ball when controlling the helicopters. They're pretty hard to use as well. I'll be doing jets at a later stage. I'm not really one for reviews or tips and tricks or whatever, but the helicopters are a vital asset on the battlefield. And make sure you can kind of crunch the enemy, get their weak points, or even their strong points even, and make sure you can manipulate them in any sort of way. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. I do have an SR2 and a G36C video coming up, all on the new maps as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Good luck and goodbye.